Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my newest video, and I'm so excited to finally get this out. I have so much information I need to get through, and I was going through so many months of pictures and information from over 2 years of doing this on YouTube. It's been 2 years. It was August of 2018 I started, and actually a day after Barack Obama's birthday, literally the day before that, the Lord said to go ahead and do videos, and then I started producing it, and I put it out the next day. And I didn't even realize until months later, believe it or not, because I wasn't really focusing on that or focusing on him or anything at the time too much. And then I started doing iPad Go videos and things. But literally, the Lord told me to do a video on his 57th birthday because he's Mr. 57, and that's him right here depicted. Right here in iPad Go. Many situations I'm going to show how he's depicted in there, and I've shown over the years, the last couple of years or more. So it's been a few months, more than 2 years, and I've got so much to share. It's just incredible, and I've got some really amazing things to share. I've shared some amazing things on some of my videos at times. I'm sure a lot of you would, echo that. But I have some incredible things to share about this time because I believe we're finally here. Now, I've said that I thought it might be finally here before, and again, this is still my grand guess. It's still a big guess. However, this is the only time I can literally say for the first time in this whole time that all the codes, and I found more codes in the last 6 months than even in the whole 2 years or more. But every single code I've ever found, they all are answered in this video, in this series. So this is going to be part one because I have so much. I literally probably have about 5-6 hours of information, but I'm not going to get to all of it. I just can't. I'm not going to have a 4 or 5 parter or whatever. It's just not going to work for living life because I spend hours and hours on this. I've been spending almost about 10 days on this research and everything because once that last timeline wasn't clear, even though I'm going to say up front, the last timeline nailed it for the 7th and 8th days on my Apple roll. It nailed it because I said in my previous videos that there will be on the 7th day, which was September 25th, which 2 plus 5 is 7, and then September 26th, 2 plus 6 is 7. 2 plus 6 is 8. Okay, that's the 7th and 8th day. I'm not going to do slides on that because it just take more time. I'm just going to say it real quick. On the 7th day, which is the 25th of September, Barack Obama was named, him and his boy toy Michael or Michelle basically were called, the number one most popular man and woman on the planet. And I knew that was coming. In fact, I said it would be something in regards to him and this numerology, and it nailed it 100%. The next day was a Trumple day. Again, I call him Trumple Thin-Skin for a number of reasons, and he's an actor. Just like even though it was Stinky B.O., Barack Obama, the 44th president, he's an actor as well. All these people are on the same stage acting one side or the other side. It doesn't matter. It's the same chessboard that the Illuminati or the Masons or all these secret societies that work together are manipulating people on this chessboard. While they're moving pieces and pawns, they're in the background for most of the masses. So on the 8th day with Trump, on the 26th, again, it was matching it 100%. I had some other things that matched it too, but I'm not getting into all that. The two biggest ones were the 7th and 8th day, and Trump nominated Amy Coney Barrett, and that was the 8th day, and that was a big event. That was a huge event, and that was Trumple Day. Plus, it was on the 8th day, and then he said he announced it at 5 p.m. on East Coast time, and that's backwards. The 8th day and 5 p.m. is 58 backwards, and he's Mr. 58. There's many 58s. In fact, Amy Coney Barrett is 85, like 3 times in different gematrias that I use, and that's 58 backwards. Many other numbers and stuff. I'm not getting all that. But just let me go forward with this, and just to let you know, in this first video, I'm going to hit some pretty big things and a lot of groundwork for what's coming in the next video as well. So don't hesitate to watch it all because it's going to be packed, and I have some big stuff to share in this one and the next one. So just wait for it all, please. You will not regret it. It will be worth your time because I'm going to basically prove this time frame so many ways from Sunday. It's not even funny. It's It's crazy. So here we go. This is the apple roll that's in iPad Goat. Now, the scene with Lily and the figures behind her, if you're familiar with iPad Goat, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Go to iPad Goat 2, type it in YouTube, and go use the Helio fonts version. Okay? There's other versions out there, but that people have reproduced, but use that original version, watch it, and see how dark and ridiculous it is, and see what you see in it if you haven't seen it yet, and then see what I'm sharing. So behind Lily are these 12 figures, and they represent several things, but they also represent the 12 months of the year, and they represent 2017, 2018, 2019, and then ultimately 2020 with the back wall, the back and sides wall. I'm not going to get into that right now. There's certain things I'm going to get into right now in different scenes in iPad Goat besides that. So I want to just say that, preface that a little bit. But all of iPad Goat is symbolism for the different events, these FFs or false frags. I'll call them false frags. They're frags, okay? They're false frags that the enemy is going to be doing, that have been doing actually since 2017, and even before that, all the way back to Blind 11. I use a phrase that somebody else used. And so this is all about the second 9/11. And what I've been saying in my videos, it's multiple 9/11. So the first one that happened, and I'm saying the number now, whatever. It's hard to say these things in code because the more I say the exact names and stuff, the more my channels and my videos are shadow banned. It's really with the YouTube algorithm. I know how it works, and been learned over some time. And believe it or not, I'm heavily shadow banned. I've proven it several times. In fact, give you an idea, last year I used to get 50,000 views or more on my iPad Goat videos, and now I'm lucky to get 5,000. And I put in literally, and even last year, I put in iPad Goat 2 and search for YouTube, and I'd be towards the top because I have a good amount of views, a lot of comments. Now you put in iPad Goat 2 this year, or last few months, and I'm not even in the top 10, 20 sometimes, most of the time. I mean, and I have more views, more comments than any of the ones that are ahead of me. So that's absolute evidence of being shadow banned, among many other things I could get into, but I digress. So anyway, back to this. So the apple roll is really key to what the Lord showed me. And by the way, I give all the credit to the Lord Jesus Christ, my master, my friend, my mentor. He's given me all this stuff. He is the one who's brought me to this. Ephesians 5:11 talks about exposing the darkness. I don't do this gematria in my life. Lord showed me how it works, for how the enemy uses it to fool people. And so you need to know how gematria, how these symbols, how predictive programming manipulates you and the world around you. So that's why I'm sharing this. It has nothing to do with anything I'm doing or whatever. I'm just exposing what they do. People can't see that, then they're completely blind. And I'm sorry, I can't help you. It's really sad if you believe something else. Or call me a false prophet or whatever. I've always said I'm guessing about these dates. I'm using numbers and symbols and everything to guess what they're doing. And now I think you won't believe what I have. So here we go. And then the apple roll is really important because it's a 13, and now I'm understanding it's actually a 14-day process. So it's a 13/14-day process. And I've come into more understanding about 13 being rebellion, but then it pops over to the next day is when the lawless one is completely revealed on the 14th day. And that is completely mirrored by the Revelation 12 sign and the actual birth in the sky that was in 2017. So on September 9th, 2017, Virgo came out of Virgo. Jupiter came out of Virgo between the legs after being in Virgo, bouncing around, retrograde motion, bouncing around inside the body, in a sense, of Virgo for 9 months and 23 prophetic days. It was 293 days. It was exactly 9 prophetic months, and that's in the Revelation. Prophetic month and years are explained about 8 different times in the book of Revelation in the Bible. A prophetic month is 30 days. A prophetic year is 12 of those 30-day months. So 9 30-day periods and 23 days was exactly how long Jupiter was in Virgo, and they came out between her legs, its legs, the thing's legs, whatever, the constellation's legs. 9 prophetic months and 23 days later on 9/9, 2017, and then exactly 14 days later, and that's why I'm talking about this 14 with this birth. and it's also a 13-day period too, which is crazy. So it's mirroring that. The 14 days later was a Revelation 12 sign, which is a aligning of planets and all this whole sign and everything with Jupiter. So that's, do a little bit of background there. So, and then she actually represents it as well, because she has 12 figures behind her, which are the 12 stars above her head, like it says in Revelation 12. The Virgin, she's dressed in white. There's 12 figures behind her, which are 12 stars. She's clothed in the sun with the moon under her feet, in a sense, but it's not really that. However, because Virgo, the Jupiter comes out between her legs, she drops the apple in a sense between her legs right there, as you can see right here. She's pained to be delivered. She's like, and then she drops the apple, and that's the birth in a sense. So that is linked to 9/9/2017. Do you get it? Okay. So, and then this would end on the 23rd, just like it ended on September 23rd, 2017. But it's the 23rd of October, and I'm going to show you why that is and why that's still 9/23. It's over here. It's the next slide. But anyway, so it's parallel. It's really crazy how this works, and that there's so many reasons why this is nailing it. I'm going to get into. So on this first day, the apple drops, and that's the birth. And then we have it drop when we hit the floor. Okay, and you can see how this looks like a sideways Jupiter and a reddish Jupiter with the spot on it like Jupiter has, but it also represents a day. So this is the sun, and this is the first day at 12 noon. First day, that's why it's the second day. The first day drops here, and that's 1. And again, to let you know as well, the elite, they use compressing of numbers and decompressing of numbers. So they add numbers together to make other secret numbers, or they decompress numbers to find other secret numbers. They love doing this because it's all about numbers out of letters or letters into numbers for the Kabbalists. And Kabbalism, or the Kabbalah, is basically the worship of numbers from words, in a sense, and how the tongue and the mouth is very powerful, like in the Bible. And when people speak the things that they want them to speak and they're controlled, then they bring about their future, their predictive programming for the future, to bring everybody into one world government, one world religion, one world evil dictator, and Stinky BO, the 44th Pres, Barack Insane Obama. Anyway, so I digress again. So here we go. So this is the second day, and it shows you with the apple roll. And some of you that I've shared this with many times, sorry, this is a bit redundant for new people. They need to see this. Or some people don't know it all. They've been, with me a few months or whatever. So I'm going to get a lot more details that I used to get into because I could deal with different aspects of things at times. Now I'm going to kind of cover a lot more. So then the apple rolls here. And then right here, this is on the 4th day. The spot is, again, this is Jupiter, again, being born, just like the Revelation 12 sign. The spot is now buried right here on, this is the 4th going to the 5th day, which is the 13th/14th. So let me go back over here to the first day. So the first day, again, is 10/10. What's the coding for the first day? 10/10/2020. I mean, think about that number for a second. It's incredible. When does that ever happen in history? I mean, way back in history, 10/10/2020. They're going to love this. The numerologists and the Kabbalists are going to love this, of course. And then this is why. You take the zeros away from 10/10/2020, and you get what? 11/22. 11/22, again, this is about death and rebirth. The death of the Antichrist, the death of people, the ritualized, to rebirth of Antichrist, rebirth of a new world order, order out of chaos, as they call it. Okay, so 11/22 is very iconicized, or whatever you want to say, with the death of Kennedy, who's on 11/22. And of course, 11 plus 22, ultimately their code is 33. 11 plus 22 is 33. Okay, so that's literally the day starts on 33. And as I've shared before, Barack Obama's birthday breaks down into 311, because 1961 is upside down version of 19. 19 and 19 is really hidden 1 and 1, because 19 plus 19, or 19, 1 plus 9 is 10, 1 plus 9 is 10, take with the zeros. And then his August 4th is 8/4, which 8 plus 4 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3, so that's 311. And then 3 times 11 is 33. Okay, so ultimately it's saying him, it's saying death, him, death, all over the place. It's crazy. Okay, let's keep going. And then right here, I was talking about the 4th and 5th day earlier here, and that's the 13th and the 14th. So the 13th ends up being, you take away the 0, 113. Like I said, his birthday is 311. Again, August 4th is 8-4. 8 plus 4 is 12. He's also 12, as I've shared many times. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, so and then his year is hidden as 11. So it's 311 or 11-3. And then check this out as well. So it's not only 10 August 13th or 10-13. It's also October. Did I say August? I do that sometimes, and it's kind of a weird Freudian slip or something, I think, because August is the 8th month. So October 13th is what it is. And then October is Latin for 8. So it's hidden 8-13 as well. And 8 and 1 and 3 is 84. And that's his birth again. So this is showing his full birth backwards, August 4th, 1961. And then I've shown in this previous video, so watch my previous videos on that to show exactly if you don't understand what I'm saying. And then 84 is his August 4th, his birthday, okay, which is also the 216th day of the year, which is 6 times 6 times 6. And there's many other things. So so that's October plus. It's also, because it's 8-13, it's 84, like I said. 8 plus 4, like I said earlier, was 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then we have 2020. Take away the zeros. We have 322, skull and bones. And I'll have there's several days out of 322. It's really crazy. So skull and bones, we have George H.W. Bush right here. Skull and Bone Society in Yale. It's really crazy. They're leaders and stuff, and it's been going on for a long time. Secret society, one of the many secret societies out there, and there's George H.W. Bush right there, who's been a really big part of it. 1,000 points of light. This new world order. That he said, and all that kind of stuff. I could put up video and all that, just take too long. But in the floor right here on this 4th and 5th day is literally, you see this dead face. Hope you can see this. I made it kind of big. Dead face with the missing nose right here, like in a skull. It looks like the eyes are closed, and then you got a mouth. And upside down, this mouth part is really a meteor or asteroid coming in. So that's what makes me think that there's going to be some kind of meteor attack or something like that. Or something along that on the 4th and 5th day, some kind of mass attack with a meteor. And that's why I'm saying this right here. And it's the day of death, because see how it's 322. It's one of many 322s. And it's about, and the Lord told me years ago that a couple years ago, that skull and bones means day of death. It means day of death. It means death in general as well, but it also, because there's a number associated to it, it's a date. It's a hidden date. So this is one of the dates that it is. October 13th is what I'm saying, /14th. 14th is also 114, and that's 11 times 4 is 44. They do this all the time with 3-digit and 4-digit numbers. The best 3-digit and 4-digit numbers, they times them. For example, 322 is also 3 times 22, which is 66. And I'm going to talk about the 66 and the 99 code, but 66, Barack Hussein Obama, because he's also 322, because he's 66. He's 6, 66, and 666 in many ways. And let me give you one example of that as well. So he had a jersey in high school, which was 23. 2 times 3 is 6, or 2 divided by 3 is 0.666. Okay, so anyway, let's keep going. And then we have the 7th day, which is Obama Day, which is more coded by not only the 7th day, which on the apple roll, because there's a 7 right here. It's an upside down 7. Right here, there's an upside down 7 right there. Apple rolls across it. And then when the apple rolls across this C, the apple and the C make an 8. So it's 7 and 8th day. It's also coded at 57 and 58. So whatever I share, it's got to be all these codes. And I have more codes that these have to be. And that's why these dates nail them. It's crazy. I've never had it ever on all the codes, at every one of the codes. I thought maybe just certain ones I didn't understand, and because you can't understand all this stuff. You got to understand. Anybody who's giving me a hard time about this, or whatever, you got to understand, this is the biggest code ever. And the Lord's helping me to break it and crack it. Many have tried. Many have their theories. In fact, I just heard some theories from someone that just put up something about, anyway, I'm not getting into all that. I'm not going to smash anybody else. It's crazy. But it was, some of the things were just absurd. I couldn't believe it, because they don't understand the whole picture. I mean, I'm not saying I understand every bit, but I understand a lot of it. And to understand, I'm going to prove that in these videos. I understand what's going on. And I'm already showing it with the Revelation 12 sign, with all these kind of things, with the twin birth that's coming, and how it mirrors things in the past as well as what's coming. So anyway, so when you look at the seventh day right here, and by the way, 7 and 8, just so you know, is also an upside down. It's an L, right side up, or an upside down 7, and a C. That's another code. L is 12 and C is 3. And again, in Revelation 12:3, it talks about the dragon. The dragon shows up in the whole birth thing of the Revelation 12 sign that's actually happened in 2017. A lot of people don't know that, but you've been served. You've been shared with what actually happened, and it's going to play out here very soon with the birth of the man-child. That is the faithful in Christ, birthed into heaven. At the same time, when they're removed, the son of lawlessness or the son of perdition, the man of lawlessness or the son of perdition is going to be revealed. It's a twin birth. It's a yin and yang. It's a white and a dark. It's a female and a male spirit. It's in a sense, in symbolic, because not only is the man child that's born into heaven, which is the faithful in Christ, is also the bride of Christ. So it's a female version as well, a female, symbology or symbolism as well. So there's a lot of those kind of things in the Bible, male and female symbology and symbolisms, and also in this stuff in iPad Goat and in other things in predictive programming. So to make different points and that kind of stuff. For example, Barack Hussein Obama, he's a Baphomet. The Lord told me one day, he's a Baphomet. He's a male and female. He's a clone, and he's literally male and female. Anyway, I don't even want to think about it too much because he's got to be what he's going to be. So anyway, so on the seventh day we have the 7. The apple hits this, and believe it or not, as it hits the 7 right here, you see there's an H right here, and I'm not getting into all this, but and then it goes this way as the apple rolls. It spells out Hawaii, so it has something to do with Hawaii, and there's going to be lava coming out of Hawaii, and I have other scenes that prove that. And then it's also an attack on Stinky B.O. because he's going to be attacked, and then I'm saying 7 days later he's going to come back to life. And that's what iPad Go shows, and I'm going to show that and prove that to you. Now the 7th day as well. How do we know this is what proves this is 57? Well, I did it backwards. You see how this is October 13th, 14th, all these are October. And this is backwards, just like they would do in Europe or other parts of the world that are watching this video. In fact, I realized my videos, I was looking at it recently, my videos cover like 40 different countries, and there's thousands of people that have seen them from all kinds of countries. So welcome all of you from other countries besides the United States. Sometimes I just assume a lot of people from the United States because I'm talking about United States, but there's a lot of people from other countries. So welcome all of you, and I'm very humbled by the chance of you listening to this and knowing that the Lord is working in this whole situation. I assure you He is, and I'm proving it day after day every time I do a video. So right here backwards is the 16th of October 2020. So you have 1 plus 6 is 5, and 1 plus 2 plus 2 is, I'm sorry, oh my gosh. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm not thinking very well. So 1 plus 6 is not 5. 1 plus 6 is 7. I kind of rushed into doing this video. It probably is not the time of day where it's best for me, but I'm doing it anyway to get it out there, so I'm not thinking very clearly, and I probably need some coffee or something. But anyway, okay, so bear with me. 1 plus 6 is 7, and 1 plus 2 plus 2 is 5. So that's showing 75 or 57 backwards. And then over here in the 8th day, 1 plus 7 is 8. 1 plus 2 plus 2 is 5. That's 58 backwards in the dates. And then we have other codes that are going to match. And of course, like I said, they match the 7th and 8th day because we have 1 plus 6 is 7. 1 plus 7 is 8. Okay, and then on the 8th day, so these two right here are very important because they piggyback off each other. There's a lot of codes about this, or this, and then it points to this one points to that, because they're both the demise of presidents. And the two presidents that represent that most are Kennedy and Lincoln. And there's other presidents like, for example, Reagan, that represent someone who's shot and then comes back to life in a sense, but not really. He didn't really die, but that's kind of what they use. In fact, Reagan's one of the figures behind the lily here. And he's got bandages around his waist, and and because he was shot in the chest or whatever, or around his chest, I guess, or whatever it is. He was shot there or something. Anyway, and then his head looks like an alien because when he was at the UN, he talked about, aliens would bring us all together, and all this stuff. It's crazy if there were aliens. And anyways, let's keep going here. So that's the 8th day, And there's some of the things I want to talk about the 7th and 8th days here. And there's far more. And then we have the again the 9th and 10th days is 9th day because we have the shadow from the stem on the ground making a 1, or an eye is an eye, and then the shadow from the leaf making this cross beam for this other cross here, which is an X. In Roman numerals, I from X is 9, and then this shadow goes away, and then we have a crossing right here of an X in Roman numerals, which is 10. That's 9, 10. It also fits with the the 7, 8, 9, 10, of course, which is crazy. And then on the 11th day, it splits, and then there's an 11 on the leaf when it splits. So this is the 11th day, and then we have 10, 20. Which, by the way, is 1 plus 2 again, just like earlier, but in a different way. 1 plus 2 is 3, and in 2020, take away the zeros, we have 3, 2, 2 again, which is not a coincidence. We also have 10, 21, which is 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4, and then 22 is 22, and that's hidden 44 right here, 44, and that's the 44th press. It's all over the place. In fact, I'm not going to be able to cover every single code that's all in all these because it's just massive. It's the biggest I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. It's massive. There's so many, because 2020 ends up hitting the 22 and 4 codes that I have that nothing else has when it matches every single thing. So this is the tsunamis. We're going to have 2 mega tsunamis are going to hit both coasts, as I've shared before many times in my videos. Simultaneously, they're planned for Hawaii to be attacked. As far as an iPad goat, the flag rips in half, and there's 1 star that's ripped off the flag, and that 1 star is destroyed, and that's 1 state. And so 1 state in a moment, which is Hawaii, will be destroyed when it gets hit by a nuclear Poseidon torpedo, and they're going to say it's a meteorite. The meteorites are going to be blamed. That's why we've been having a lot more coming in, and false ones that they control coming in by the day now, almost now. And there's going to be real ones, but there's also going to be false ones that they're going to use. They can control, or there's something else that looks like meteor. They can also use a lot of deception for that as well. But they're really going to use the predictive programming shows nuclear subs and some other stuff. So they're going to use a Poseidon nuclear torpedo to hit Hawaii, and then the southern part of the Big Island, the East Rift Zone, that's already been perforated by a couple of years ago, the fissures that went from Kilauea down to the coast. It's been perforated line. It's ready to go. It's been moving at feet per year and things. Big old cracks and stuff. It's about to fall off. It's going to be knocked, and that's going to cause a massive displacement of water. It's going to cause about 1,000 to 1,200 foot wave to destroy Hawaii, and then it's going to reduce to about a 500 to 600 foot wave. It's going to go across. In fact, this has already been predictive programmed. I've showed it in previous videos that there's computer models of all this already done by the government, and I might throw that up at some point. I just wanted to focus on this time frame and other things when I was doing things. Go back to predictive programming for tsunamis. Back in my channel, you'll see this not only in media and movies and everything, but also the government has done computer models on what would happen if a tsunami wave goes from Hawaii from these things happening. Even literally exactly the thing, the East Rift Zone falling into the ocean and hitting the West Coast at the same time. One's going to hit the East Coast. I'm not going to draw that right now, but this is all proven. I've proved it so many ways. Literally, the Rothschild family, who owns Puna Geothermal Venture in Puna Geothermal Plant by Kilauea, has been fracking Kilauea consistently since the 80s, keeping it going. And who would frack a live volcano unless they wanted to keep it going for a reason? They've been fracking it for a long time, and it's been causing earthquakes. In fact, I have a study, I could have thrown it in here, I guess, that shows that the earthquakes are exactly equaling their fracking times and everything like that. It was just really phenomenal. I have a lot of information about that stuff, and the government knows it, and they're turning their head from it because they're part of it, especially the government there. That's why they're locking people down like crazy, and they have been for months, because all this stuff's coming. So here we go. And then the last day is the nuclear attack, which is the 22nd. Now, let me go back here a little bit. So the 22nd is also 822 again. We have 84 again. So these just keep replicating because the way the numbers hit and the zeros and the ones and everything with the 22s, it keeps multiplying. So again, 8 plus 4 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3, and then we have the year 2020, which is 322. The final, there's a nuclear attack. Again, that is a, it is figuratively in a sense that a lotus flower, but people have it wrong. It's really a water lily. It's more accurately a water lily and has the symbolism more of a lotus than a water, more of a water lily than a lotus. And a water lily is more apropos because when the Antichrist comes out of the cave in the boat, there is actually water lilies on the surface of the water, and they represent nukes going off. And this is a nuke going off. Because this is the nuclear apple. I've shared this before. This is the nuclear apple, and then it's split in half. It's splitting an atom, which is atom is anyway similar to apple. Anyway, I'm not getting into all that, but it's a physical representation of that, or a symbol of that. So that's the explosion that happens, and a birth, and all that stuff of the Antichrist. So and then we have so it's basically from 1022, basically right around midnight. And that's why for a long time I was like, okay, when is this going to happen exactly? And there's a 13-day, and it looked like there might have been a 14th day, but it's going right into midnight. And again, it depends on your time zone. They like to do 2-day periods, especially with the tsunamis. It's going to be over 2 days because it's going to be a little bit after 9 p.m. Hawaii time. And it just so happens to be 6 hours difference to a little bit after 3 East Coast time or New York time, for example. And I've shown how I've found exactly 9, a little bit after 9 on iPad Goat on Hawaii time, and I found that, and a little bit after 3 on East Coast time. So let's keep going here. And then 1023 is also 923, and I had a dream about that years ago. 923, America is laid low, and that's the final attack on the United States where it's laid low. It's done. Okay, and I don't use the term laid low. It was a dream from the Lord. It was very vivid. It was amazing. It's 923, America is laid low. And the reason why 1023 is 923 or 1023 is 923 is because October, okay, we're in October right now, but we haven't completed the 10th month of October. We've completed the 9th month, and then now we're into days. So we're 9 months into the year, and then at that point, 23 days. So that's why it's 923. And then what's crazy about it as well is this day right here, and I didn't put a slide in, but I could have. This day right here, 1020, is 293 days in, including the day. And that 293 days is what exactly I talked about with Revelation 12 sign and Virgo, or Jupiter being in Virgo for 293 days, which is 9 prophetic months and 23 days. So at this point, with this massive disaster right here with tsunamis, we'll be at 923 with God's numbers, with 9 prophetic months and 23 days. And then with man's 923 with the Gregorian, 9 Gregorian months and 23 days into, which is insane. I mean, it's just confirming every which way, Baloose. Okay, and then bring in my barrel. My barrel. People that have been around a while know what I'm talking about with this olive barrel. So 2 years ago, when I started doing this, there was these tsunamis. Wow. There are these hurricanes that were heading towards Hawaii. And I said in the very beginning, people say, oh, you're not right about these times. It's not true. I've been right about several things, and I don't get into all of it. But literally, when I first started, I said that certain hurricanes, 3 different ones, would go across the Pacific and touch Hawaii, basically. I said they would hit Hawaii, and they did. They absolutely did. They didn't cause much destruction. I wasn't sure what they were going to do. And I didn't say I knew what they were going to do. I thought they might do something, but they definitely went from basically off the coast of Central America, and they went across the whole giant Pacific and hit a little island chain called Hawaii. Are you kidding me? And I was told by the Lord that would happen, and I was right about 3 of them, and many, many other things. And so I was sent this barrel when Olivia was hitting Hawaii, basically. When Olivia was hitting Hawaii, I was sent this olive barrel, and it was Olivia, means of the olive trees, what Olivia means. And I was sent to this olive barrel by the Lord. It's incredible. I worked for, now I can say and now I can say who I work for. I work for Habitat for Humanity. Did a lot of work for them, and I got this barrel sent to me. It was actually 2 different barrels, and I did a video at the time. You can go back and look at it, where I basically talked to my coworker, and he verifies. He's literally in this video that I got this picture from. He's pointing to it, and I said, Kevin, I said, what happened with this video or this barrel? He goes, well, we got 2 of them, and they had this writing on it. And I said, do you know what it means? And he's like, he had no idea. And I knew exactly what it meant. He had no idea, and I never told him because I don't think he could handle it. I don't think he could handle it. I never told him. He wasn't a believer. I witnessed to him many ways from Sunday, and he wouldn't really have it. Maybe I sowed some seed. I'm hoping that's the case. Maybe I have a chance in the future when I have my different body coming back. Anyway, I'm hopeful for this guy, but he was very new agey and stuff and all that stuff. And good guy though, but really needs the Lord, just like all of us need the Lord, like I need the Lord. But this barrel came, and it's written on it. And keep in mind, my dream I had 3 years before this, it was 923 America's Laid Low. And when I saw this, I flipped. I was just like, I literally looked at this, and it was just written on here by the manufacturer or something. Because I literally looked up the barrel online, and that's the model number of this thing. It was a 9231201 or whatever, and someone wrote it on there for me to see it. It's crazy, on this olive barrel when Olivia was going on. It was just phenomenal. And so 923 is literally the last day, and going 1 minute from 922 into 923, as I believe, when the faith will be taken finally before the nukes go off. I believe. I'm not gonna. That's just what I believe the Lord's showing me, and it's crazy. I literally flipped my lid. There's a lid on this thing. I was just so blown away. Lord does so much amazing things sometimes for me. Let me give you one example of that. Recently, here I'm thinking about all this stuff, and I'm pondering, multiple things, and I'm taking my daughter to a friend's birthday party, and she needs some tissue paper because we have no tissue paper at the moment, and I stop at a dollar store to get some tissue paper, and it's really close to the girl's house that we're going to take my daughter to, and she's going to stay the night over there, whatever. And I go in there, and I'm thinking, literally right now, when I was driving, I was thinking, the Lord's kind of talking to me about 9/11, and I was thinking about how all these different events in this timeline are going to be 9/11, 9/11, 9/11 in many ways, including which I didn't mention, the 16th day, which is, again, the 7th day, Stinky BO's day, that's October 16th, which is 116. And 116, as I've been sharing many times, is 9/11 upside down and backwards. Among many things that day is, it's also 116. And I was thinking about even that day and some other days how they're 9/11. And I literally walk into the store as I'm looking for tissue paper, and I literally hear from a lady that's checking someone out in the stands, at a register or whatever, as I'm walking in, 9/11, that'll be 9/11. And I don't know why I get so stunned sometimes, but I know why, because it's crazy. I mean, how does the Lord do that? And I was literally thinking about 9/11 in many ways for these days, walking into this store, opening this door, going in, and as I'm right at the front, I come right in the door, she says, 9/11, that'll be 9/11. And she says it twice. I don't even recall that happening to me in a long time. Someone saying the amount twice, 9/11, that'll be 9/11. And I just I started laughing because I was just so blown away by it. I started laughing, and I walked in the store, and I walk in all stores without a mask because I will never wear one. I'll die wearing one or not wearing one if I have to. I'll never wear one. I'll never bow down because mask is 44, which is Stinky BO's number. Mask is simple gematria is 44. I will never leave, and that's a precursor to the mark that's coming, which is 666, because vaccination is 666, a COVID vaccine is 666. All these different things. I will never take a mask because that's 44. Literally, it's 44. That's Stinky BO. And so I walk into any store without that. And so here I am. This lady's looking at me when I'm laughing, and I have no mask on, and I'm laughing, and she's like looking at me like I'm crazy. And I just kept walking and get my tissue paper and leave. And I was just so blown away by that 9/11 thing. Anyway, and here's 9/23, 12/01. I was just like, what? Are you kidding me? Hopefully that you understand that. And then I'm going to be talking about iPad Go-To, of course, And the reason I put here Jeremy is because I wanted to mention, so iPad Go 2 is very, as I've been saying for more than 2 years, well, around 2 years, because I didn't get into iPad Go right away, but I did maybe in a couple months in. I've been saying that it is the plan. It's like a playbook for the elites. And a lot of people didn't believe that. They just thought, hey, this is just some animated thing. And one of the big confirmations of that, among all the numbers and symbolisms and everything in other media and everything, just confirm it like 1,000 times, and people don't get it. They just don't get it. You need to get it. You need to wake up and understand this, and try listening to Jesus for a change. I mean, just try. Try listening to Jesus. He will show you. He will tell you. But one of my confirmations is Jeremy. He has been phenomenal insight into some things. And he was a former 32nd degree Mason. He's been a believer and born again for 5 years. In fact, he stopped because one of the reasons was his grandfather, who was a 33rd degree Mason, and family very well known, very rich, wealthy and stuff. And in fact, they're now in bunkers in Colorado now, and I have proof of that and everything. It's phenomenal, and I can't get into all that. I said I wouldn't share certain things and all that stuff. It's crazy, but they're literally in bunkers right now, so that's why I know this stuff's coming in any time. It's very close, and this confirms my time frame because they were literally in by the end of July. Definitely the middle to the end of July, they were in the bunkers and everything, and there's bunkers in DIA. I've proven that to myself. I literally interviewed a guy who worked at DIA. He was a subcontractor for DIA. At DIA, he injured himself, and he had a non-disclosure agreement he had signed, and he said wouldn't go on my channel, but I drove him around last year, and he shared so many things with me about what's underneath there, and he's witnessed it. He's witnessed them moving gold bars and underground highways and all kinds of stuff, crazy stuff, okay? And he's told me stuff I didn't even know, and I knew a lot about it. And that's the den. That's where Obama spent some of his time. It's the snake's den. It's called. And when you drive by, it says, "Welcome to the den." Anyway, have videos on that. Anyway, so Jeremy, he has confirmed for me that it is the plan. In fact, he told me that one day they had a huge meeting, and he said that basically this. I'm paraphrasing, but he said they had a huge meeting, and there was a couple guys that showed up with a guy from Canada, and I told him, Heliofon is a Canadian company, and Louis Lefebvre that did most of it with this company, he is a Canadian. And he's like, he didn't know. He had no idea. But he said that detail. I'm like, that's crazy. Wow. And then they came in and they said, and this was in late 2008 before the election of Stinky B.O., the 44th Prez. And then they watched the video and they said, they called it the plan. And a lot of people there did not understand what was going on, what it was saying, but they understood some of it through the symbolism that they've been, all kinds of Masons. I mean, there. But he said some of them were saying, this guy's going to be the president. I mean, they didn't even know who he was. They didn't know. They're like, who's this guy? Like, and I guess there's some different some of the Masons were kind of more conservative bent, some were more liberal bent, I guess, and crazy. And some of the conservative ones, this guy's going to be the president? Like, what? And again, as you get higher up in these levels, you're more and more in the know as you do. There's more rituals and these sacrifices and all this kind of stuff that you do in there, and all these crazy stuff. In fact, he stopped. He was getting dreams from Jesus and visions and stuff, and so he stopped doing it and he pulled back. And even when he was pulling back and everything, and he pretty much stopped, people were telling him stuff and intel and things and asking him questions and revealing things for even a couple of years, and they had no idea he was out. He was out completely, and the Lord was showing him. And one of the things I mentioned, his grandfather, who was a 33rd degree Mason, and he was getting pretty old, and he said pretty much, don't do this, don't do this, because you'll sell your soul completely. So when you get to, well, I know from Jeremy, and I've looked at some other things and stuff, that when you get to a 33rd degree, I guess you do some stuff so bad that you sell your soul completely. And his grandfather had done that, and he regretted it to his dying day. And he told him, just don't do this. So that was part of him not doing it. It's just crazy. So Jeremy confirmed for me massively, and stuff he knew that no one could know. And he said, I have minutes on this meeting. I mean, they did minutes for this meeting. And he said, I might have it, but it's been a long time, so I might not have it. And so he spent days looking for it. He says, I'm sorry, I can't find it, I'm like, it's okay. but it would be cool to have that. It would be like, he literally has minutes for the meetings. They gave out minutes. I was like, what? Because these people are secret. They won't, if they, and I'm concerned about him because I haven't heard from him for weeks now, and I've been praying for him and expecting him to be. But he's had some death. He shared some death threat things that he's had that were pretty freaky, and some things that's happened to him. I pray, Lord, that anyone who led would pray for him, and I hope he's okay still. So I'm just letting you know that this is far deeper, and he's confirmed that for me than people realize, and it's the plan, as they called it. So there we go. And then here we go. Hierophant 6/24/2012 is when it was released. So like I said, they really released it to the Masons, and who knows how long they released it. They showed it to all these different groups and meetings for maybe a year more. I don't know, but they released it in 2012 because why? What's hidden in here that a lot of people don't know? Well, what's hidden in here is the idea of, remember I've said the 3-digit and 4-digit codes are interesting because not only do they compress numbers. So for example, look at 2012. Look at 2012, okay? You can compress numbers. You can go 2 + 1 + 2 is 5. So maybe you're trying to hide 5 or something. And then maybe you 2 + 4 is 6, and then we have 6. And then maybe it's 5, and then it's 12 or something. You're trying to hide that, whatever. But the better numbers that they have for what they're doing, they can multiply or divide the numbers that are in it. So for example, if I have 333, 333 could be 3 times 33. They love those numbers, 3 and 33. They love them. And I had Jeremy confirm that. They love 3 and 33 because it means a lot in a lot of ways. Because Obama is 3, and then 33 is his birth. And anyway, 3 times 33 is 99. Again, now we have the 99 code. And then 99 has to do with the end of the president and everything, and one of the 9/11s. But 99 is also 9 times 11, which is 9/11. Okay, so that's an example. So right here, you have two things. 2 times 12 is 24, or 12 divided by 2 is 6. And both are 6. So 2 times 12 is 24, 2 + 4 is 6, or 12 divided by 2 is 6. So ultimately, that is 6 hidden, and then of course 2 + 4 is 6, and 6, so that's 666. And it's not a stretch, because this is about the Antichrist, the birth of the Antichrist, which is 666, as everybody knows. Okay, and then now let's look at this date. This was the date that Trumpleberry got COVID 1984. Okay, or Convid. It's a con. It really is a con. Okay, and he got it, sure, and then in a few days he's totally fine, and he's walking around talking like a normal. Please, please. I mean, all the stuff they've been saying about it, I mean, it's all false anyway, but yeah, he got this. So this day that he got this, okay, right, it just so happens to be 3/22, the day of death. And it's, again, forecasting his future demise, okay, because it's 3/22. And from his date of birth, okay, his last birthday, which made him 74, from June 14th of this year, Trumpleberry's birthday, Trumple, I'll call him Trumple for short, Trumple's birthday. I say Trumpleberry because I tell people to stop drinking the Trumpleberry Kool-Aid. People that are following Trump and Q and everything, they need to stop drinking the Trumpleberry Kool-Aid. If you are, stop drinking the Trumpleberry Kool-Aid. He's part of the plan. I'm proving it. I prove it in all my videos. If you can't see that by now, you need to wake up and smell the brimstone that's burning around you, because we're in the times. We have fires going on. Trump's being moved around. Trumpleberry's being moved around like crazy because it's the narrative that Iran's going to attack him, and that's coming. That's coming in a few days. So just so you know. Man, I'm getting a dry mouth here. Talking a lot. Okay, let me pause for a second. Okay, back here. I just had to take a drink there. Excuse my throat stuff here, because I'm already getting froggy from talking so much. Okay, so we have 3/22. So it just so happens from iPad Goat date to this date is 3,022 days. That's a massive coincidence? I don't think so. And then now sticking with the 666 theme, okay, to prove out that this is correct. Now, logic would dictate that if this is hidden 666 and it's a date, that it will connect to a hidden 666 date in the future that has to do with the revealing of the Antichrist. That's what logic would dictate. In fact, I was with my daughter recently, she had got this game, and it was about like an escape room. And you can play this game, and I'm really good at these, of course. So you look around this room and you see things that that relate to other things, their patterns and stuff, and you try to figure it out, and then you unlock this, which unlocks that, and eventually you get out of this room. Then you go to another level, and then you're in another room, and you do all this. And I did this one in particular very fast because I'm just good at it. The Lord shows me how patterns, and I recognize very subtle changes and differences in things and patterns and stuff. And anyway, so that's what logic would dictate. It would point to a hidden 666 date that had to do with the birth of the Antichrist. So yeah, so I just followed that, and here you go. So June 24, 2012, which is the date of iPad Go release, to Trumpleberry, again, predictably programming his death because he got COVID in 1984, is 99 months and 9 days, and 999 is upside down 666. Again, it has to be hidden somehow a little bit, okay, because the date on Heliofont's iPad Go was hidden. Let's keep going. And then that reminds me, on that same day, later in that day, he tweeted out at 12:54 in the morning, which is very code. Oh my goodness, that's 12:09. And that was East Coast time, 12:54. I confirmed that was the time, which is 12:09, which I'll get into later. It's the 1119 code and the 12:09 code, and that's crazy. So he that same day he went to Walter Reed, which is 666, if you can believe it. Oh my goodness. I mean, are you kidding me? Again, there's reasons for all this predictive programming and these numbers and everything. And then Walter Reed, Walter is 747 English gematria, 747, 474, and Barack Obama, as you translate it directly from Hebrew to English, Barack Obama is 474. That's not a coincidence. There's more. Reed is 192, which is what? What's 192? 192 exactly 291 backwards. Again, they hide these things backwards, upside down, or upside down and backwards. So 999, for example, exactly upside down and backwards of 666. It's crazy. So 192 is actually 291 backwards. What's 291? 291 is the 291st day of the year, which is October 17th, the day I'm saying, the 8th day that Trump will be eliminated. And it just so happens to match Reed and Walter Reed. I don't think so. And Walter Reed is 666. And it's exactly the day he went is exactly 99 months and 9 days from the releasing of iPad Go 2, which is exactly 666 upside down. And it's exactly 3,022 days because the day he went was 322. No, it's not. You got to see this. If you can't, you're blind. Sorry. You're blind. Okay, and then why is 474 crazy? Because Barack Obama is 474, and Akhenaten, the Egyptian king, is 474, because I've been saying for a long time, and I had lots of evidence. I'll have more on my next video, some physical evidence that Barack Obama is Akhenaten. It looks just like him. He even said it when he was escorted in there and saw depictions of Akhenaten. He's like, that looks like me. Look at those ears. I mean, it looks like him. And he knew it. He said it like he knew it. Not. He wasn't surprised. Wasn't one bit. And in fact, so right here, this 192 is also the 1911 code, which was made by Jesse James, or confirmed by Jesse James. So Trump, 1911, Jesse James builds custom gun for President Trump. Jesse James has created the Trump 1911, and look how that looks so much like 9/11. It's not even crazy, because it is. It's just like it, because 9/11 is 9/11 as well as 9111, which is the code. A custom built 45 ACP gun for the 45th president of the United States. And by the way, ACP is A and C is 1 and 3, which is 4. P is 7, which is 16th letter, which is 7. That's 47. And I'm going to show you how Trumpleberry is. This Trumple is 47. Okay, let's keep going. And that's the Jesse James that made the gun for President Trumple. Look at this, Jesse James. This is the pagan devil horns, and he knows it. That's why he's smiling. He knows what this is. This is the devil horn signal. This is the 666 symbol. And he does it all the time with both hands. This is the Illuminati triangle. This is so many things. This literally is cut out of Aleister Crowley's, one of his books. Aleister Crowley is the most highly regarded Satanist maybe ever. He's the patron saint of most rock stars. They use his books to get good at magic and conjure up demons that are good at music, because the devil was good at music. And I know a ton about all that stuff, and about all these rock stars that basically credit their success not from them. They credit to the demons that work in them. They give them all kinds of names. Like Elvis Presley called it he thought it was the spirit of his dead brother, and then later on he called it the White Brotherhood. Look it up. Look at all this stuff. The Beatles made a pact with a witch for $40,000 to continue their career at the end of it, to make their next one of their biggest albums. And they called these spirits, I forget what they call the spirit names, but they credit it to these spirits, their success. I mean, it goes and goes and goes and goes. What's his name? Jim Morrison basically said that he met the spirit of Satan on the top of a roof when he was bummed out. He dropped out of college. He met the spirit of music, he said, and it gave him all the music and stuff for a whole concert in one night. I mean, all this stuff, all these people give credit to Satan because they know they had to conjure up from Aleister Crowley's books and his teachings, doing things backwards, all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. And Trump is not part of this. Are you kidding me? There's the evidence right there. I mean, this is one of many, many evidences that I share. Okay, so Hierophant as well, iPad Go to release to the day I'm saying of Trump will bury his demise, which is, remember that day, October 17th, because it's coming up, which is October is 10, would take away the 0, it's 117. And Trump himself, before he was elected, in a rally, he said, I was down there at 7-Eleven. And that's 11-7 backwards, and this is the code for this day, I'm telling you. So it's 99 months and 24 days. Remember, even from just iPad Go, 2-4 was the 24th of June. 2-4 is 6, and then 99 is upside down 6-6, so that's 666. Then we have from iPad Go to the next major attack day, which is the tsunamis, is 99 months and 27 days. 2 plus 7 is 9, so we have 999 again. Again, these are hidden a bit, just like iPad Goat's date was hidden a bit, the 666. Then that's what logic would dictate. Okay, so then that's 999, upside down backwards, 666. Here we go. And then this caricature of the Antichrist and this character is what I found. I've shared in a previous video, one video I think, in the past months and months ago, was that this is based on the depiction of Jesus. This is a more modern, like, dope smoking version of the Jesus from the Pietà. So that's Michelangelo's Pietà. Mary's holding a dead Jesus, if you're not familiar with that. And then this is him, his face, he's dead. I mean, it doesn't look very dead, and he doesn't look that bad. He looks very angelic in a way. But that's, you got this facial hair, you got the part in the center. I mean, it's the same freaking thing. I mean, it's literally the same thing, because it's the imagery of the Pietà, and I'm going to get into that at some point here. So, and then why? This is a weird little connection I just had to get into because it's so strange and it's so weird, but it connects. And I'm not putting a ton of stock in it, but it's just crazy. You won't believe the connections here. I mean, I just had to throw this in because it's really bizarre. And listen, if you think some of this is crazy and stupid, yes, because the Luciferian global elites that control everybody are crazy and stupid. Okay? If you think this is foolish and retarded, yes, because the global Luciferian elites that control everything are retarded. Okay? They are sick. It's just kind of silly. There's logic behind this, but it's pretty stretched logic. But it is logic. Then they have to. God requires them to share the stuff in the fine print, and by watching these things and media and everything, and consuming things without knowing what the messages are and saying things. For example, I've said this many times, and how when you say stuff, it produces things. Okay, and you got to know that the Bible says that tongue can be a unholy evil, because it's just like the rudder on a ship. It's a small thing, but it can move the whole ship. Just like a little fire in the forest, it can just cause a massive, huge, wildfire or whatever. Anyway, that's kind of the point. The tongue does, and so imagine all these tongues from many people, millions of people, and billions of people that read and say their stuff. They keep saying these things. So let me give you one example. 50 birth in simple gematria is 57. Okay, so 57. That's Obama's number, and it just happens to be birth. 50 is one of his numbers, 57. And I'm showing you a million times I was 57. Well, people have been saying about the technology that's coming out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, F, G. Get it? 5, and then A, B, C, D, F, G, the technology. That is, G is the seventh letter. So that's, they're saying 57 all the time, and they don't even realize it. And they're really saying, every time they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, F, G, they're saying birth, 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 birth. And it's about the birth of the Antichrist, and they don't even realize it. Because it's the same, it's literally, to the universe, it's the same thing. And that's what these Kabbalists believe. And that's what the Bible kind of, in a sense, shares about the tongue and what it speaks. Because those are words, and words are connected to numbers. And numbers are words, words are numbers. It's just what it is. Literally, God created Hebrew to be a perfect mathematical language. And if you don't understand that, you need to understand that. And then English was created by Lucifer, or Satan, I should say, whatever, Satan, to basically put all their messages across and to program people. When you watch TV, you're being programmed because it's called programming. When you spell a word, you're spelling. You're casting a spell. Again, that's how they use this. It's anyway. I hope you get the idea. So this thing that he has on his face, which is a separate mustache and a separate goatee, it's called a Van Dyke. It's just crazy. It's called a Van Dyke. And for first letter code of Van Dyke is V is 22, which is 4, and there's the 22 again, and the D is 4, so it's 44. So it's telling us he is the Antichrist in just his facial hair. A Van Dyke is a style of facial hair named after the 17th century Flemish painter Anthony Van Dyck, or Dyke. A Van Dyke special, yeah, he is kind of a, anyway. Van Dyke specifically consists of any growth of both a mustache and a goatee with all the hair on the cheek shaved. So they're kind of separated. They're not all one big thing. And that's what he's showing here. That's what's on the Pietà Jesus. That's what's on here. They're separate, and that's what it's showing here. Okay, so even in the naming of this, they use it for, different things. So let me show you this. It's even gematria, because everything's gematria, because that's how they control people. So the last attack day is right here, which is Octo, and then 11th day is, remember I said it was the 20th, so that's right there. It's an 82, it's crazy. And then we have 8, and then 116. Now I'm going to show you why this is crazy in a second here. But look at this right away. Remember Obama's day is October 16th. So take away the 0, it's 116. And then this is crazy too. So this is Van Dyke's right here. And then what does these two show? This is spelled backwards, 24th of June. 24th of June. And we have the 24th of June. And backwards is 2012. 212. 24th of June. Backwards exactly. 24. 24th of June. 6. 2012. 2. And then the zero's not there. And then 12. 2012. I mean, it's crazy. It's right there. Now, let me show you why this is even more crazy. Boom, I just changed that. See, I just changed that. Boom, change that. So from, you can actually, if you include the day with Stinky Bill's day on the 16th, it is exactly 116 days. Or if you use the same day of the attack on Trumple, it's 116 days and 8 years, 116 and 8. So look at this. June 24th, 2012, 24th of June, 2012, 116 days, 8 years. I mean, are you kidding me? And you're like, yeah, that's a massive coincidence, whatever. That's a coincidence. It would be a massive coincidence. A massive coincidence. And then, yeah, but check this out. Now I'm going to do the actual person that Van Dyke's came from, which is this guy, Anthony Van Dyke. I'm going to just assume that's his name. Anthony Van Dyke. Now look at this. Now look down here. This is Obama's day, right? See right here? And then it's Obama's day. Again, you can have the same day. If you include the day or not, you can have the same number as here from here to this day to this day. Or if you don't include the final day, then it's a different day. So if that, I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me. Anyway, so the 16th, look at this. The 16th day, which is Obama day, because 1 plus 6 is 7, the 7th day. 1 plus 5 is 16. That's 16, and that's the 16th day. So that's that's the 16th as well. But look over here. You have this is pointing to this. And then right here, this is 57, Obama's number. And then we have backwards, we have octo is an octo being, octo in Latin is 8. So that's Talit's October is the 8th day. 8, 16. 8, 1 plus 5 is 6, 16. Again, we have it again. 1 plus 7 is 8. 9 plus 7 is 16. 8, 16. 8, 16. And then look at this, just like this one. So you go, oh, that's not, you're just making that up, whatever. Well, look at the same grouping right here. 6, 6, June. 12, 12, 12, 24, 24. I mean, are you kidding me? And the dates and the month match. I'm just saying, that was freaky. Take however you want, whatever you want from it. It's freaky. There's no way. Now, let me explain this. So, these different codes. There's so many codes I have to explain because it hits so many different codes that people don't even know. So the day that Trumpleberry is killed, or Trumple, I don't know why I keep saying Trumpleberry, but Trumple is killed. I think it's kind of funny. I use Trumpleberry. I mean, Trumpleberry Kool-Aid. So 1017 is the day I'm saying. And again, remember, it's 117. You see the 117 or 711. He said 711. And we have 711s all over the world because of this. I'm telling you. It's from the Lord Jesus himself. Believe it or not. We have 711s all over because of this final attack day, because we were predictively programming you on TV, in the stores as you drive by, whatever. It's telling you that's the beginning of the end of the United States. I'm telling you, believe it or not. Okay, anyway. 1 plus 1 plus 7 is 9. Take away the zeros and like you do the whole thing. It's 922. That's the 922 code. Now I'm going to show you what that is. What is the 922 code also? 922, and this is why I'm mentioning Jeremy and Evan. So Jeremy, again, is the ex-32nd degree Mason that I know. Okay, wonderful. He's just a wonderful guy. People might think, oh, he's giving you false information, whatever. No. If he gives me information, he could be false because he's getting it from false Masons. That could be but I figured some stuff out about that. But he's telling the truth of what he knows, and he even says, they could be giving me false information, some true, some not, and some has been true, some has been not. But he months ago he gave, and even before Anthony at A Minute to Midnight released it, he told me as well, and I could have shared it more, but I didn't. I think I might have shared it once, but I felt that it wasn't quite right, or it might be a code, and it was a code. He said the date he had was from one of his contacts that was a Mason at 922. And any of you that know this or know the Minute to Midnight thing with Anthony and whatever, or Tony, I should say, Tony, you know this, but he said Jeremy said 922. Well, 922 is a code for the final attack day, or the attack on Trumpleberry, which is the second major attack, but the real major attack that really hits United States for a loop. I mean, just knocks down. And so he said that. And then also, the reason I put Evan here, because in the movie Evan Almighty, the character says September 22nd, midday, and that's when attack is going to happen. So, and there's a lot to that. I'm not getting into all that, but just give you an idea of the 922 code and how it's out there. And then 922 is 9, 2 plus 2 is 4. And as I showed George H.W. Bush, I call him the Dead Bush. I'll call him the Dead Bush in the future here, unless I talk about a specific name. But the Dead Bush, when he died, died at 94. And that's the 922 code or 94 code. Hopefully this makes sense. Okay, so, and it's a dead president. That's when he died. He was 94, so it has to do with a coming dead president. And I'm saying the dead president is going to be Trumpleberry. Okay, again, why I'm saying Trumpleberry, I don't know. Trumple. Okay, I have to say something because I can't keep saying his name because the algorithms, whatever. And so I like to make fun of him because guess what? He's not a real person. He's a sick, twisted, evil man. He's going to, whatever he's done to get to this point is atrocious. I don't even want to know. And what he's going to be responsible for is millions and millions of deaths. And he knows it. He's part of it. I absolutely guarantee it. If you don't know that by now, wake the heck up. I mean, wake up. You seriously, you're going to be so stunned when he's taken out because he's a Trojan horse for Christians and conservatives. When he gets people in, when he gets the United States into World War III and then he's killed, you'll know. You'll know. Okay? You'll know. And you're going to feel really bad because you bought all this hoopla and this BS, Barry Soetoro. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people being so blind and not listening to the Lord Jesus. You need to wake up and start listening because big stuff's going to hit the fan. very soon. Okay, the other thing is the 49 code. And 49 is also 7 times 7, which is 77, which is CQBO is 77 as well. I'm going to get into that. Okay, so it's the, and then we have October really being octo, which is Latin for 8. So that's what the elites look at it, because, you know, another reason why Trump said 7/11 is because not only is this the day of his demise backwards, it's also because he referenced it to 9/11. So he basically told us that they really look at September as Septem, which is in Latin 7. So they really look at it as 7/11, the elites. And he's one of them because he's a billionaire and he's went through all the hoops and all the stuff to become where he is, because it's been all planned that way. And I'm going to show you some of that. So 8 plus 1 plus 7 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. Or 8 plus 1 is 9. Throw away the 9, you have 7. And then 2020 breaks down to 22. Take away the zeros. So 722 code is huge. Again, that's a dead president, because Lincoln died, the day he died was at 7. They have it recorded as 7:22 a.m. For a long time, I didn't know what it was. I knew it was a code. Now I do. 722. Also, it's 7. 2 plus 2 is 4. But I'm going to get into this first. So remember, George H.W. Bush is 94. He died at 94, the dead Bush. But the first letter code, as you can see in white, is GB, which is 7-2. Again, that's 7. 1 plus 1 is 2. 7-2. He's pointing to the death of the other president, Trumple, the dead Bush. And E and H is 5-8. Remember I said he's Mr. 58, and it's happening on the 58th day. This is backwards. Again, if you have the 17 over here, then it's 1, 2, and 2 is 5, and then the 17 is 8. Anyway, and then even that, so we have first letter and last letter code pointing to Trumple, and then we also have, why does he have HW like that? That's what he's, George H.W. Okay, of course it means Herbert Walker, but even more than that, it is W is 23, 2 plus 3 is 5, H is 8, it's 58 again. Again, he's referring to the death of Trumple and the date of his death, which is the 58th day. Man, I'm tired of being right. No, anyway. And then 722, remember I said it's Abraham Lincoln's death day, and that's also associated with USS Abraham Lincoln. In English gematria is 1092. And again, what did I say about the Jesse James code and even the Walter Reed, and Reed was 192? Because backwards, it's 291, and October 17th is the 291st day of the year. Bam, I'm showing this, I'm proving this. Anyway, and 722 also breaks down to the 7-4 code and also to the 4-7 code. What's 4-7 and 7-4 code? It's the 4th of July also, because 4th of July is 4-7 and July 4th is 7-4. So that's why Trump did all this stuff on 4th of July for the last couple of 4th of Julys like this in 2019. He really promoted the Lincoln Memorial and doing the fireworks at the Lincoln Memorial and all this gathering at the Lincoln Memorial because he's associated with Lincoln, because he's a dead president and a future dead president. That's just the way it is, I'm telling you. And look how he's on these stools high up. Why do they pick that? Why not just regular chairs? Because he's exalted himself like like Lincoln on a throne way up in the air, and he's up in the air like that too. I mean, are you kidding? This is all, again, and more evidence of that. Here's 2020, the last 4th of July. All these pictures he did in front of Mount Rushmore, and more with Lincoln himself, because he's associating himself with Lincoln again. And you think he doesn't know this? Again, it's the 99 code. So the USS Abraham Lincoln, by the way, USS is 311. Oh, gosh. Don't give me, which is a Barack Obama 311. Okay, and then the 99 code is USS Abraham Lincoln is the CVN 72. 7 plus 2 is 9. And then he's the 45th president. He's known as 45. 4 plus 5 is 9. It's the 99 code. And I'm going to share in my next video probably how George H.W. Bush carries the 99 code in his whole life. And many things he's done, because and then he becomes the dead Bush, and he's pointing to the future dead president. Okay, boom, there's so much. And I showed all the stuff in his name already, and he died at 94, and that's really this day of October 17th. Wow, I keep saying August. And then here he is, punching Lincoln. No, I'm just kidding. What he's really doing is stabbing him with his spear. And people don't know that they're thinking, oh, he's victory, or maybe it's white power. No, it's he always does this thing. But people don't know he's referring to his family crest, and that he's the tip of the spear. This is the Trump family crest. There's a hand, and that's actually his mother's hand, and it's the spear. It's a woman's hand. It's his mother holding the spear, because he is the spear, because was in him, and he is the spear. He is the tip of the spear. This is not a full spear. This is part of a spear. This is the tip of a spear. He's the tip of a spear. I've shared that in many of my videos. Again, here it is at the New York Academy, where military academy in New York that he was part of, and he is right here. That's him right here. See, this is a spear tip, and he's the tip. There he is right there, and that's him right there. That's Donald Trump. Anyway, I'm going to touch on that at some point, why I'm saying that as well. So anyway, wow. A lot of people that can't handle the truth. I don't share a lot of certain things because people can't handle it, because it's just so mind bending, and it bent my mind too. But anyway, let's keep going. And then right here, this is the old Lion King, Lincoln, Lion King, Lincoln. In fact, Lynn colon means Lion King. It's Gaelic, and it's also mixed with something else I can't remember at the time. I was going to throw that up here, but I couldn't find something I had before, and I couldn't find it. But it's Lynn colon is Lion King, really. And then Lion King, or he's a president. Lion president, he's also a lying president. Anyway, Lion King, there's a lions here. He's a Lion King. Okay, and in fact, in Revelation 17, he is the seventh king the Bible talks about. Why is he the seventh? Because it's referring to peace in the Middle East, and what's his name? Carter was the first to broker peace in the Middle East as a president, and then from him, he being the first, and then Obama's the sixth king, and then the seventh king for a short time. That's why he's about to be eliminated, because he's not going to make it to the election. And it's a short time. It's not even a full term, otherwise I wouldn't say a short time. And then the sixth king becomes the eighth king, because Obama comes back. And that's what it's talking about. I'm telling you, believe it or not. Okay. Man, this is already longer than I wanted, but oh well, it is what it is. I had to get a lot of information out, and a lot of it's what I'm sharing. Okay, so right here, Mount Rushmore is also 74. Now, remember I showed you earlier that 722 is 74 or 47 code. Now, I'm going to show you that Trump is all about that code, among other codes. Trump is totally the 74 code, and that's why he's there as well. There's much going on with this, because Trump will bury, by the way, he's stabbing him with the spear, and there he is, stabbing him right there in the spear. That's what he's doing. People think he's doing something else. Okay, so 74 code, he is 74 years old, which is just like July 4th. And that's why he did the Lincoln Memorial right here, and fireworks and everything. Lincoln's going to be blown up. Get it? Lincoln's going to be blown up. He's going to be exploded, because he was part of this. He's going to be exploded by a nuke. Do you get it? Do you get it? Hopefully exploded. Nuke, Lincoln, Trump, all together, explosions. Do you get it? Hopefully you do, because that's what it is. I'm telling you, believe it or not. And then so he is the 47 and the 74 code, and they're both 4th of July or July 4th and other things like this. President is 47. Trump is 47. Murdered is 47. Or President Trump murdered. And again, that's going to be the narrative. It's going to be a FF. It's going to be a false frag. Okay, I'm going to say it that way. False FRAG or FLAG. I could probably spell it out. In October, boom, 47, 47, 47, 74 in October. And remember, October is also 666 in English gematria, like I shared in previous videos. Not a coincidence. Why is it 666 and none of the other months are 666? Because it's the month. And then exact day in gematria, October 17th of his demise, October 17th, 2020, is 1 times 47 or 47, and he is 47. Trump is 47. And the exact day in English gematria is, guess what? Boom. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. And remember, it's October, which is 1, 17 backwards. Boom. And it's 74. Oh, it's so much stuff. It's just phenomenal. And then just give you an example, although there's far more evidence, far more examples of this, because I don't want to completely bore you with gematria. Some people, their brains explode, I guess, and they have a hard time with it. I'm sorry, but To prove my point, I have to. And some people like this numbers stuff, but a lot of people don't. But okay, President Trump was killed. So think about the reporters reporting it after it happened. President Trump was killed, blah, 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 blah. So 1 times 922 is 922. Remember the 922 code? And then remember how 922 is 94? Trump killed in Manhattan. Again, this is what I've seen in predictive programming. And then this is why it's bared out in gematria, because it proves it, I think. Trump in Manhattan, 922. Trump in Manhattan, 192. Again, 291 is the attack day. 291st day of the year is the attack day. Backwards. President Trump is 1 times 49. Remember I said also that's the 49 is the 922 code backwards, or 94 or 49. 1 times 49 is 49. Again, they like to do this one thing, times something. Sometimes they even add the 1, but usually when they have a 1 in a 3-digit code, it's 1 times that to kind of hide it a little bit more. And then it's doubly hidden because it's backwards. So 1 times 49 is 49, and then 94 backwards. Again, that's the 922 code. And then President Trump is dead. Are you getting this? Isn't this phenomenal? You should be blown away by now. You should be so blown away by this, because it just keeps going and going. President Trump is dead is 922. President Trump killed is 94. Trump eliminated is literally the 17th day of October. Take away the 0 in October at 10, being 10, is Trump eliminated. There's so much more of these. I'm going to give you a few more. Trump dies in Trump Tower. 1902, which is 291 backwards, the 291st day of the year is October 17th. Manhattan nuclear bomb is 117. Again, October 17th, take away the 0. Manhattan Trump Tower, 117. Or if you don't like nuclear bomb, because it's going to be perceived as a nuclear bomb, and so that's perception, but maybe in reality it's really going to be a rod of God, and because it's a projectile that's made of tungsten, and it doesn't cause radioactivity or anything like that. That's what they've been using. That's what they use on the Beirut. But it is, for people that don't know, it is a projectile that's made of tungsten that is in this in a lot of people that don't believe this as well, but I believe it's in space, or you even call it the firmament. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but it's shooting this thing down, and gravity is pulling it down so fast, and it's made of tungsten, so it causes this massive, and it's a rod of God. It's technology that's out there, and it's been proven. Manhattan rod of God, as far as attack by rod of God, 94. Are you kidding me? And then here he is. Yesterday was the anniversary of this, 3 years ago. And it's not a coincidence that he said it in October, okay? And I'm going to show you why that is. It's many reasons. So it was October 5th, 2017. What did he say? He said, do you guys know what this represents? And then some guy's like, what, Mr. President? The calm before the storm. I'm not going to try to do his voice. And my voice is all messed up anyway. And that's exactly 7/11. And he literally said in a campaign rally that I was down there at 7/11. And he'll be down there at 7/11 because he's going to be killed. That's what he's coding. I was down there at 7/11. I mean, literally, the day of his demise he's talking about. Again, to him, it's a FF. It's a false FLAG. Okay? And maybe they're going to really off him and just get rid of him. Or maybe he's going to form into a different creature. I mean, he's going to get some kind of surgery or something, look like somebody else or be somebody else. Who knows? Like they did to Princess Diana. A lot of you don't know this, but Princess Diana was really a man, and he had plastic surgery again, and he's Elton John's male lover, and his name is David. I can't remember his last name. But if you don't believe it, there's a lot of evidence to it, ton of evidence. He looks just like her anyway. And then one day, there's video footage, and I could have put it on here or any video. There's President Reagan literally talking to Diana and called her David on accident. That let the out of the bag. That let the cat out of the bag, man. I mean, are you kidding? And that's the guy, and it's Elton John's boy toy, whatever, David. I can't think of his last name, but anyway, there's a lot of transvestites in politics. It's a lot of them. Oh my gosh, it's because they're like Demon Central, Grand Central stations. I mean, and they either have to be that twisted and messed up, just like Michael and I. Obama's called Michelle Obama Michael and I, or my Michael. He said that many times on accident, or maybe it was all on plan. So give people the hint. They do that. They do both of those things. So anyway, also, do you know? And he literally said just like this. Do you guys know what this represents? The calm before the storm. And then look, in Jewish gematria, Jewish ordinal, it's 666. I'm showing you all these 666s. And by the way, I've never, in all of gematria that I've been doing for a couple of years, have I, and to decode these people, have I ever seen Jewish gematria in 666? I've never seen it because it takes a long phrase to get Jewish, because the way it's set up, Jewish ordinal, things are smaller. Like it would take a lot to get simple gematria, because A equals 1, B equals 2 to get to 666. That's why English gematria, which is 6 times simple gematria, it gets there easier. But anyway, so if that makes sense, they're just different systems, a different coding to get the messages and things. So, and then he says, you guys know what this same phrase, right? I just want to show you real quick that it's 6. 9 plus 3 is 12, so backwards is 216. That's Stinky BO, 216th day of the year, which is 6 times 6 times 6, which is 666. And then we have the 288th day of the year is that first attack day that I shared, 288th day, which is with the meteor and everything, which I'm guessing. And then also 8 plus 8 is 16, so that's the 216th day of the year as well, which is 6 times 6 times 6. And then this, remember, 6 is also 9 because it's upside down and backwards. So 261 is 291. The 291st day of the year is his attack on 7/11 or October 17th. This is, scratch out the 9, because anything you add 9 to stays the same. You have 45. He's 45. And then this is 45. You have 1 plus 8 is 9, and you have 45 left. Or 15 plus 8, 15. 5 plus 8 is 13, which is 4. And then that's 5. 45 backwards. And then we also have 4 plus 2 is 6, and we have 666. Are you getting tired of all the 666s? I know I am. I'm tired of all this. But I got to show it to you. I don't like all this stuff. It's retarded and stupid. Again, like I said, that's what they are. Okay, and then look, from the day he said that to the day I'm saying his demise is 9/11 backwards. My goodness. Let's keep going. I didn't think this would be this long, but I had a lot to share, say. So it is what it is. So if you have to watch this in segments or something. I was hoping to get to more people with a shorter video, but it's not happening. There's so much I can share. It's like, it's nuts. So now this video, the rest of this video and the next video, I'm gonna get into so much with the scenes and a lot of mind-blowing stuff. So these two arrows, that for you that don't know, these two arrows are pointing to these monoliths. This monolith right here and this monolith. One looks like it's coming out of the water, one looks like an island, which happens to do with, because it's Hawaii, because it's also representing Kilauea going off and all that as well. But look at the angles. You see the angles on these? These are angles on both of these of aircraft carriers sinking, and there's 2 of them. In fact, right here, upside down, and I'm going to show you right there, is Lincoln's face. It's a nose right here, a mouth, and then this chin has got a beard on it. Okay, and it goes up, it'll go up here, but this is Lincoln's face. If you can see it, it's Lincoln's face upside down. See right there? It's right here. It's upside down, and that's the Lincoln sinking, and this is the Truman. And I'm going to prove it in many ways. You'll see. Boom. That's Lincoln upside down. Okay, and then I want to point out there's water shown. Okay, and by the way, what's falling is not snow, it's ash. And what's falling all over the country right now, where I'm at for sure, ash. I mean, I'm collecting ash all over. I'm an ash collector now. I mean, I should get out my vase and start collecting ash. I mean, it's crazy. I haven't seen so much ash since Mount St. Helens when I was a kid. I'm serious. It's so much ash that I've been getting in a lot of places in the west, especially the west side of the United States. And now more fires are going across the United States. How about Judge Sins talking about all these fires, thousands of hot spots going from the New Madrid, New Madrid, however you say it, down to Louisiana, and they appeared in one night, pretty much. Thousands of them, and they're all registering at about over 1,000 degrees, around 1,000 degrees, and then they disappear. And I mean, wow. And he also has footage. Watch it. Dutch Sinse, DUTCHSINSE. He also shows one of his last videos, like I showed him one of my last videos that's gotten like 12,000 views or something like that, how these DEWs, directed energy weapons, it was going into New Madrid at that, or just before that. right into it, and it was tracked by infrared. And that's why these beams appear. And also, he's showing a beam that was going into the border of Wyoming and Colorado. And I live like 80 miles, 80 to 100 miles from that spot. It's crazy. And a big fire started on the border of Wyoming and Colorado, and he showed how this beam is going right into it. Watch it. I could have did a video about it, but he found it, so I'll just leave it to him, and I'm doing this. So, but I found some other stuff, and I had in a previous video where it proves that these weapons are being used in Oregon and California. And I have more proof on this video I'll show you, which is mind-blowing, that I've shared before. That how could these fires are not natural, and I'm going to prove it in this video, and you'll see. And I've shared this before. But look, you have water, and then when you have lava, see that's water on the bottom, and that's lava coming out. You have literally the blood there that's shown on the leg is really, if you imagine, this is a volcano shape right here, her leg, and then this is lava. It's also blood, but it's many. There's a lot of symbolism in this whole video. It's lava, lava, lava. Okay, now check this out. Let's look at this boy here. I'm going to show a lot about this. Some things I've shared before, some new things that are really crazy. Look at this boy. So right here, see, right here, this is N. It's a small N. You see the little top there to the N, and it curves down. And this is a Y. You can see the little top on the Y, NY, because that's where he dies. Remember? I said Manhattan, New York. I mean, this is crazy. And the dead boy actually represents both presidents. I want to prove that. Because NY is also, N is the 14th letter, 1 plus 4 is 5, and Y is the 25th letter, 2 plus 5 is 7. So that's 57. That's Obama's number. So it's crazy, 57. Now let's keep going. Right here in the bandages, right here. This is a 1 and a 2. So that's 12. I'm going to show you many reasons why it is. That's 12. 1 is going sideways, and that's a 2. It's also, because this is lit up, 11 and then 7. 11 and 7 as in October 17th. Boom, right there. Hopefully you see that. But and I have lots of see, when I say something, I'm not just saying like a lot of people do out there with these YouTube videos about iPad Goat and whatever. They're like, oh, I see this, and so that means all of this. No, I have hundreds of things. I don't say it unless I have it backed up by 3, 4, 5, 17 times. I mean, something like that. I mean, it's ridiculous. Because I'm not gonna say, oh, that's what it is, and that's just that's my Rorschach test and my ink blot. That's what my ink blot looks like. What does yours look like? Well, my ink blot looks like this. Well, my ink blot looks like this. Well, we could argue and let's disagree. But when I prove that it's this ink blot 17 ways is what it is, then hopefully you can see that my ink blot's really saying this. And your ink blot can say whatever it says, but I'm proving it 17 ways that this ink blot says this. Then does that make sense? Hopefully it does. I'm trying to be silly about it too. Okay, so, and then his hair is looking spiky like a crown of thorns. So it's a sacrifice in a sense for a rebirth, like it's a false Christ. And Trumpleberry will be eliminated and not come back, and Obama will be eliminated and come back. As the numbers and everything, all the predictive programming, everything shows. And I bring in much evidence to bear on this. Keep going. Again, let's look at the scene again. Right here. She's in the shell. She's in a half shell. She's a woman in a half shell. Woman in a half shell. Turtle power. Oh, sorry. Man, that's programming right in my face. Wow. Bam. Okay. Anybody knows what that reference is? Anyway, I was a kid. I was raised in TV. Anyway, so we have half shell right here, and that's the virgin in a half shell. And this is supposed to be like the Virgin Mary in a sense too, because this is the false Christ, virgin in a half shell. That's called The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. I know my artwork. I did art classes in college and stuff like that. So anyway, even high school. So Botticelli, Birth of Venus, and hold on here. Things freaking out. I hate it when it does that. Okay, application freaking out. I hate it when it does that. It's not a very... anyway, okay, let's keep going here. So Botticelli, Birth of Venus, and then we have... It's representing two things. It's representing the Botticelli's Birth of Venus. It's also representing the Pietà, like I said earlier, and that's the Virgin Mary, because she's covered. See how she's covered? Her head's covered, and she's wearing like a dress and something, whatever, and her head's covered, and it's also being Middle Eastern, because he's the Assryian boy. He's the Assryian boy because the Bible says that the Assryian is the Antichrist. So people think, listen, this is the silliest thing. If people think Macron or Trump or whoever is the Antichrist, he's got to be Assryian. Okay? I mean, seriously. And let me put this to bed right now. The Antichrist, the Christian Antichrist, has to also be the Muslim Mahdi or the Al-Mahdi. Okay, he's got to be. For you people that believe something else, you're not thinking it through completely. You're just not. He's got to be the Al-Mahdi or the Al-Mahdi because he's got to convince 1 billion Muslims that he is their savior. So the Christian Antichrist has got to convince people that he's the savior to the world and different groups and all this stuff. And then the billion plus Muslims have to be convinced for them not to, just go and after him and kill him. He's got to be the Mahdi or the Al-Mahdi. Okay? So, and I've proven that in my previous videos. In fact, one of the criteria for being the Al-Mahdi is that he has to have the name Hussein because he's related to Muhammad. And his middle name is Hussein. Hello, McFly. Hello, McFly. So I'm telling you, okay, you're not thinking it through. The Bible says he's Assryian. And I've heard someone say, oh, well, Trump is part Assryian. Yeah, he looks Assryian. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He's got to be a majority Assryian that he looks Assryian. And believe me, okay? You must believe me. I'm just silly. You don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you, I'm the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. But I'm telling you the truth. Believe it or not. So what I'm telling you, I'm a little cheeky today. Anyway, what I'm telling you is that he's the Assryian, and he has to be that to be okay. Stinky BO looks Assryian. Look at him. He looks Middle Eastern. I mean, are you kidding me? And that's kind of a partial black looking kind of, but it's not really black. He's not white or black. And they say he's white and black, whatever, and he's a black man. No. They like the image. They like to portray that like he's the Black Panther and he's the Black Mamba. I mean, he's all this kind of stuff. And I mean, anyway, I know he is all that, but he's not a black man. He's not the first black president. He's Assryian. He's a clone with that DNA inside him. He is Akhenaten. He's a clone of Akhenaten. I'm going to show that more, especially in my next video. And it's mind blowing evidence I'm bringing. That's coming up here. So he's the Pietà. In classical mythology, Lucifer, a light bringer, was the name of the planet Venus. Also, Lucifer does mean, Lucifer is Venus. So this is the birth of Venus. So they're referring to the birth of Venus in the birth of, they're referring to the birth of Lucifer in the birth of Venus. Okay, and again, and the woman also, the female is also represented by the virgin as well. And same with Mary with the Pietà as the virgin. So they're kind of mixed together. In fact, both are male and female because you got the female and the male. In fact, sorry to break this to you, people who don't know this, but Trumple is a woman, has been changed to be a man. It's been changed to testosterone and some altercations. He's never had a beard ever. All kinds of stuff. Is the shape of a woman. And many things. I'm not getting all that. And then Barack Hussein Obama is a Baphomet. He's a clone. So he's not really. That's why he's a man and a beast, because he looks like a man, but a clone is a beast. It's not a real man. It's created or fabricated or whatever. So I'm just telling you, believe it or not. Okay. And then red halo actually means, and about the colors in the Christian iconography. Wow. Iconography attribute red to martyrs. So this is a martyr. This is a religious martyr in a sense. And that's why the red halo. And then, believe it or not, so I'm going to refer to Obama's so-called mother. But right now, Trump's mother was named Mary. Hello. And his father was Fred Christ Trump. Are you kidding me? So that's a setup for him being a sacrifice. But he won't come back. Again, he's the Trojan horse or the fall guy for Christians and conservatives, and that's the way the Luciferian global elites are playing it. I mean, think about it for a second. All you Trump supporters, think about it for a second. If the New World Order is going to take over the world, and they are, and if you can't see that by now, you're completely blind. They are going to make Christians and conservatives of no effect by having them trust the plan and having them step back on the sidelines while they're burning up the world and flooding the world and doing all the stuff they're doing, making you of no effect. Now, guess what? If Hillary won, people say, would you rather if Trump lost and Hillary won? Yes. Because Hillary is so sick and evil, and people know it, that the Christians and conservatives would rise up and stop it. Okay? And the New World Order wouldn't be any farther. But no, this is a plan. This is a plan to subdue. If you listen to his words, if you actually listen to his words and watch what he does, you'll find he's just a reproduction of the same old, same old. So-called swamp cleaner-upper. I mean, give me a break. He brought in all swamp creatures to his administration. I mean, are you kidding? It's ridiculous. Wake up. The birth of Venus is what this is based on as well. So like I said, and of course, look at this. This is insane. Again, 192. 291st day of the year is what we're talking about here. The attack on Trumbull and the attack on the carriers is, and there's the birth of Venus right here. 291 backwards is the 291st day of the year, which is the day. And then, of course, it's Obama because it's 5/7. It's 84. That's his August 4th, his birthday. Right here, this is 42 backwards, or it's 33. It's the 7th and 8th day. And then again, it's the same. It's confirmed. It's the 291st day of the year backwards. Look at Pietà, which is, this is crazy. It's 84, Trumpleberry. It's the 1119 Trumple code, which is 39. And by the way, 39 is the full reduction code for NY. That's right here. New York is 39 in full reduction. And guess what? Hawaii is 39 in full reduction, reverse full reduction. As well as New York spelled out being 666 in English gematria, and Hawaii being 666 in reversed English gematria. It's crazy. We got 42 as well. 1 plus 3 is 4, 42. And we have 42. Again, the Antichrist will reign for 42 months in Revelation. We got the 288th day of the year, which is the first attack day. And that is the 13th going into the 14th. And then we have 45, President 45 backwards right here. So it is both presidents right here. Boom. Even more, just the birth of Venus is the 99 code, Trumpleberry 99 code, what I just showed you earlier, which is Abraham Lincoln. 7 plus 2 is 9. Trump 45. 4 plus 5 is 9. They've got also birth of Venus is also 1 plus 6 is 7, which is 7 5, 5 7 backwards, or 1 plus 65 is 66, which is upside down and backwards of 99 code for the end of Trumpleberry. And then birth of Venus is also 57 backwards exactly, and then it's also again backwards 45 and take away the 9 because 5 plus 9 is 14, and then 1 plus 4 is 5. So anything you add 9 to is the same, so it's backwards 45. Boom. It's just boom, boom, boom. And then, now we talked about Trump's mother being Mary, and then Obama's so-called mother was Ann Dunham. Okay, 45 is connected to Trump. 58, Trump, backwards. This one is 94. 3 plus 6 is 9. 94, the 94 code is the day he's going to of his demise. Like 922 or 94 being the age of the dead Bush. This is 1 times 54, which is 45. 45. 99 code, the death of Trumbull and the USS Lincoln. 99 code, 1 plus 8 is 9. It's all there. And then check this out. So literally on on Stinky B.O.'s birth certificate, it literally says his mother's name is Stanley Ann Dunham, which is kind of strange, but it works for crazy gematria. And I've said this many times, it confirms it. Stinky B.O. is 93, 57, and 84. Why? Because all three add up to 12. 9 plus 3 is 12. 5 plus 7 is 12. 8 plus 4 is 12. And 1 plus 2 and 12 is 3. And 3 in Hebrew is Abaddon, Lord of the Bottomless Pit, or the Destroyer. And that's all played out right here. So we have a lot referring to Trump right here. And then her full name is referring to Stinky B.O. 69. If you think of 69 being the portal or the first, the opening of the abyss or whatever, because 6 and 9, if you twirl them, it becomes a portal. Anyway, this is crazy. And it also is 23 plus 23 plus 23, which is the mark of the beast and everything like that. 84, look at this. 84, 93, and 57, all of his numbers. He's 93 because the Law of Thelema is 93, Flight 93 on Blind 11, all this stuff. It's crazy. And then, Again, 1 plus 7 is 8, 84, or 1, then that's Obama. And then 1 times 74 is 74, and that's Trumple. He's 74 years old. And then this last attack day that's coming up that they're showing as well is 23rd of the 9th month, or the 9 months that have passed, and the 23 days. Boom. I mean, they refer to future thing, other things as well as the same thing. It's crazy. Boom. Let's keep going. Then in the woman's face, okay, and I've shared this before many times, but I'm going to go into it for people who don't know, or just a refresh. Right here it shows both, again, both presidents. We have V, which is 22. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then we have D. This is a D right here. And I'm going to outline it. I'm going to show you in a little bit these two. This is a V and a D. V is 22, D is 4, so we have 44th president. And over here, as a result to the sinking of Lincoln, they say, we are Lincoln Nation, or they call themselves Lincoln Nation on the USS Abraham Lincoln. And Lincoln Nation is 422, 422. Lincoln Nation is also 912 in English gematria. I did this a while back when I was using this form of gematria calculator, but anyway, it's still the same thing. But then look at this. Down here, so that's 44, President 44 right here. Then we have M is 13, which is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. And then we have an N. See, this is an M and this is an N. N is the 14th letter, which 1 plus 4 is 5. So we have 45, the 45th president. And look at this. 13 and 14 is exactly matches Trump assassinated. 13, 14, which is 45. It also is the code 219 in simple gematria. And look up here, Lincoln Nation is 219 backwards. 219, 219 backwards. The same thing. See? I mean, this is crazy. It just keeps going and going. And then let's point to the 2912. Why is it 912 at 219? Because this is in Norfolk, Virginia, when these are on the same dock, basically the same area. This is the USS Abraham Lincoln, CVN 72. This is the Truman 75. So 7 plus 2 is 9, and that's the sinking carrier right there. And then right here is the 12. 1 and 2 is 12, or 7 plus 5 is 12. So we have the 912 code or the 219 code. 912 code, 912, or backwards 219. 219. Are you getting this? Is it sinking? Oh gosh, I am showing you pure truth here, people. Pure truth. And you see how this is 9? Okay, see how this is 9? This is an outline of a 9. And I made it big right here. You see the outline of a 9? In the empty space is a 9. See that? And that's in the clouds. And you have to turn this whole image sideways to see this. In a few different ways sometimes. And I'm going to show you even more evidence of this. This will blow your mind. This is in the Truman Show. I got even more breakdown of this in my next video. I just want to give you a ton right now, and I've got to be done soon. I'm almost at 2 hours. Wow. Okay. And then this is the Truman Show, and I was literally watching this show, and I saw some telltale signs of things, and I couldn't believe it, and it confirmed what I already saw about the Truman, and it's massive confirmation. In the Truman Show about the USS Harry S. Truman. I mean, are you kidding me? So this is, man, my throat's getting real dry. Almost 2 hours talking. Wow. And a lot. So this is Truman, okay, in the Truman Show. And what happened earlier, I'll show you in a second. But this was crazy, and I couldn't believe it. This is the normal view in the movie if you take a still shot. But I'm going to show you it reversed. Now look at this reversed. And what it's showing here is 2 pillars. You stopped in the exact moment, and right here is pink and purple, or pink and ultraviolet more specifically, and that's Obama. It's crazy. I couldn't even believe it. I don't know how they do this, how demons do this, but they do this. This is 2 ships, and then again, this is backwards of that scene. It's crazy. And remember I said 72 and 75. 7 plus 2 is 9, and then we have 75 right here. The 912 code, or the 219 code is right here. Okay, and it's called the Truman, and this is the Truman. 75 is the Truman. This is the Lincoln. This is the Truman. It's called the Truman Show. I mean, are you kidding me? I have more proof. Watch this. So literally, in this scene in this movie, this light falls, and it's a false star. It's really a light, false star in the sky, like we're in the firmament or whatever, right? Like people that flat Earth believe, and it may be true. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I got bigger fish to fry than that. I'm not going to say yes or no. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I lean more towards globe, but flat Earth is. I wouldn't be surprised. I know how all deceptive NASA is, and it means Nasha and everything, and all this stuff about it. I know a lot about this stuff. I wouldn't be surprised, and definitely the moon landing was fake, and all this kind of stuff is fake. It's crazy. You can easily prove a lot of this stuff. So here he is. This thing falls, and then he looks at it, and it says Sirius, and referring to the star Sirius in the Canis Major constellation or whatever, right? Or was it minor? Anyway, one of those. And he's looking at this. So this, and they love this because, are you serious? Are you serious? Anyway, they show this in a lot of movies about Sirius and the dog star, and it's in a lot of movies. There's a guy that does a lot of stuff about that on YouTube videos. Anyway, I'm not getting into all that. But what I figured out this is showing is this the Sirius coming down between the two pillars. Oh, wow, this is crazy. This is big stuff right here. Sirius coming down and on the threshold right here between the two pillars. This is kind of like a line right here. And these are two pillars. Can you think about this? Might be two pillars and a line right here. And then even the fence is kind of showing something here, but it's very hidden, okay? But I'm going to show you what it is. What is he what's behind him? Okay, this are the pillars. This is Sirius coming down in the west between the pillars of the Golden Gate Bridge. What's behind him? The Golden Gate pillar. Look at that. Golden Gate pillars behind him. See that? I'm telling you, believe it or not, those are the pillars. This is like, it's coming right here. When it meets right here is when, it's so crazy. I'm going to show this even more. Watch this. This is, I was totally blown away by this when I realized it. So I shared how in November 9th, which is 9/11 backwards, are you kidding me? Last year, 2019, which is 777 days after the Revelation 12 sign, which makes even more establishes it, that right here, Sirius came down like this, and then these lined up, and then they came down like this as well. It came down in a kind of similar way. But and Sirius came down here in the west. So the west is right about like right from this vantage point, from this island is where they vantage. It's called Angel Island. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's really crazy. It's literally the vantage point. The west is right about here. And then so this is basically depicting between these two pillars where Sirius is coming down. And it's a marker of time. And I'm telling you, now watch this. In fact, at the same exact time, at this alignment right here, these fires were going on. And Daniel found this. I was just blown away by it, and it confirmed what I'd said. And for you to think these fires are coincidence or they're natural or whatever, literally you had a fire. These are the big fires that were happening around this San Francisco area. Fire, 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 fire. I can't reach this pointer down there. But look at this. And look where this one is. This is the bigger one, and it's second over from the right. This is the bigger one, and it's second over from the right, the sun. So it's even the exact position of these. All these, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and Mars, and the sun, the exact planets in the Revelation 12 sign and the sun are in this other thing 777 days later, and it's shown right there, burned into the ground by directed energy weapons. If that's not evidence, I don't know what is. It's phenomenal. In fact, this is upside down. It says 6 fires in a line. And then there's this right here is the Golden Gate Bridge. So these fires are exactly parallel to the Golden Gate Bridge. And then this exact alignment that no one's talked about pretty much, I call it the Golden Gate alignment because I discovered it, is exactly parallel to the Golden Gate Bridge at the exact time that these fires are parallel to the Golden Gate Bridge on the ground. It's not a time marker. And I'm not getting into all that right now, but it's marking out this time as well. And I'm not going to get into it right now because I can't get into everything. And then right here, that was the time, November 9th, 2019, and Sirius broke the plane right here, just like it's showing. Let me go back. Sirius, this is kind of like a plane right here. You see the shadows? And this is like the bridge. Sirius is breaking the plane. It's right here. Literally, it's right there between the two pillars. And he's standing at the beam, the tower. It's crazy, the two towers. And remember right here, we have the two towers when these ships get attacked. We have the two towers right here. See? This exact scene. I pause it, the exact spot. Two towers. There's two ships. It also means two ships. Because when they think they're going to be sticking up. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Hopefully you see this. It is mind-blowing to me. What the Lord has shown me and how He's put this all together for me. It's just Mind blowing. Okay, so these are going on, right? And that last time it happened, look at this, Sirius. And Sirius comes by here at different times, but the chance it was exactly match this to the day I'm talking about with the attack on the carriers and Trumbull and everything is boom, there it is. 10/17/2020 is attack on Trumbull. So look where Sirius is right there. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, same exact spot pretty much. And that matches Truman Show. I'm telling you. And it's the Truman that's going to be attacked. And as I'm proving it there, the 9 and the 75, I mean, 9, which is 7 plus 2, and the 75. Are you kidding me? Pillars, the 2 pillars, the Twin Towers will be destroyed. Boom. Crazy. Now I want to show you something else that proves this. Absolutely slams this all the way home for the end of this video. And I'm at, what am I at? Almost 2 hours. Wow. So anyway, it is what it is. I can't, and if, just take it in segments, whatever. I mean, by now you already watched it, so it doesn't matter. Wow, that's weird to think about that. Anyway, okay, no one's watched it yet. I haven't even uploaded yet, and I'm saying this. It's crazy. So look at this. To hit this completely home and prove my whole point, here it is. It was hidden, and I totally found out. I'm like, no way. Again, this is a reversed image of the first image right here. So this is the first image. This is the reversed image where I found the 912 and it's 2 ships and the pair, all that stuff. And I equated to that. It's amazing. This will knock it all the way home. There's the original image, and the image is backwards, but it's forwards to us. And you won't believe it. I've said this already, but here you go. So this says ST as in, I guess, stereo. Like, when you're in a car and it kind of blinks a little bit, you're not quite getting the right signal, and it's solid. That means you're getting stereo sound and everything. And that's pretty much what it is. But it's backwards as this view. So T is backwards. And so you look at it backwards, but T doesn't look backwards. But S looks backwards, right? It doesn't look like an S. It looks like a backwards S. But T, you can't tell, but it doesn't matter. So let's do T first. So then if T is backwards, but even though you can't tell, but it is backwards because we can tell by the S, then T is 20, but then we make it 02. And then S is backwards, and S is 19, but we make it backwards because it's shown backwards, and we make it 91. And that's the 291st day of the year, which is October 17th, the day I'm saying, the day I'm showing a bunch of times. Isn't that amazing? Are you shocked yet? Are you not completely... Wow. And I got more. I got so much more, and I'm going to get into this other video. So thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. Thank you for the prayers. And I asked you if you're able to give. I really appreciate it. My family needs it right now. I really need some extra funds right now. I can't quite pay my rent yet, and I'd like to get it paid to my thing, to my thing, to my landlord if possible. I really appreciate that. So thank you so much if you're able to give. I have a link in the description box for PayPal and a PO box as well. If someone wants to send a letter or something or whatever, I like that kind of stuff. It's great. Or whatever. Just thank you so much for your support. And I have part 2 coming. I have most of part 2 done, probably 2/3 of it done, because I wanted to. I definitely couldn't have put these 2 together. It would have been a even a 3.5 hour video. Oh my goodness. I thought it'd be shorter than this. I apologize for the ones who that matters to, but you can just watch in segments. Anyway, I like to tell people that. So thank you so much, and thank you for your prayers. And I've got so much more in the next video. And make sure that you click the notification, the notification bar, or the bell, and make sure it's turned on. Like and subscribe, because people give me a lot of thumbs down for no stupid reason. Literally, the video goes up, thumbs go down. I mean, it's just ridiculous. People hate it. So thank you so much. It's Exalted Lamb. If you're able to give, I so appreciate it. I really need it right now. And again, share this video because we're coming so close. I am so almost 100% that this is the time. So I'm going to prove it even more in my next video. This is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.